Here, welcome to our Paved conference. Before we start, let's. I request everybody to please stand for the prayer.
Let's put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Our Heavenly Father, Father, you, may we ask you for your blessings and guidance so that the activities set for this undertaking be successful. We ask you to open our eyes to see the wonderful things from this activity. We ask that you open our ears so that we may retain invaluable knowledge. Open our minds for us to think wisely. Give us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities. Open our hearts so that we may receive your everlasting love. And open our spirit so that we may know that you are with us all throughout the day. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Okay, so welcome to our pre-bidding conference. So before we start our pre-bidding conference, we will call the attendance first. Okay. For Christian group members, Attorney Francis Canete, Kenny Luis Mansueto, Marcelino S. Cortez IV, Alan M. Yaong Jr., Rinaldo B. Padillo, and Corazon J. Amogues. And we have participating bidders from uh, our construction firm. We have Google Builders, Evangeline Bilway. Naan siya? Okay. So, we will start.
Good morning, good afternoon once again. So let me discuss first the contract ID 24HH0088 with the contract name 002 protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of flood mitigation structure, Barangay Talamban, Cebu City, with an EBC of 144,750,000 and a contract duration of 288 calendar days. So for the detailed plan, so we have five sections for this project with a total length of 708 meters. So the first location is along the Butuanon River. So kani siyang alignment is an alignment sa atong river nato sa Butuanon. So there were during the ocular na ay mga damages dito that needs to be repaired, and there are also existing structures na we need to provide additional foot protection works. So basically ang atong mga ipangbutang diri is a steel sheet pile na. So mag-drive og steel sheet pile. So muna atong pinaka main nga area for this project. Then we have drainage projects pod or drainage areas to be considered sa within the Barangay Talamban. Second site is if ka-familiar mo sa may Santo Niño Village, diha dapita. So mag-construct ang drainage diha connecting sa ongoing karon sa Mandaue pod na side, since Santo Niño Village is naay boundary between Cebu City and Mandaue City. So dire lang ta sa Cebu City na side. So ato siyang mag-construct tag new drainage lines nga mo connect sa ongoing karon sa Mandaue. Then the next section is there is my family park. So there is an existing lagoon there na naay gi-utilize as small water impounding. So we need to rehabilitate kay medyo silted na siya. So naay gamay nga excavation and naay correction pod sa small water impounding structure. So this area will also help mitigate sa flooding problem diri sa downtown or diri sa may Santo Niño Village na area, since naay insidente na nahitabo diha months passed by. So naay medyo marag head or neck or shoulder level na kanang baha nga nahitabo diha sa Santo Niño Village. So with that, we can help mitigate the flooding to occur next kung ato na siyang marehab sa ang existing small water impounding inside the family park area. So muna siyang section 3. Then the next one is kini siya. This is also a drainage project. Kung familiar mo sa Highway 77, natay i-rehab pod nga drainage diha nga nasa siya flooding issue. So medyo daghan-daghan nato ang sections for this project. So naay sa sapa na apod sa dalan. So this is the general notes, the construction notes, the technical specifications, then the summary of quantities. So first we have the provision of combined field office equivalent to the total contract duration of 9.6 months. We have the operation and maintenance of temporary field office. Then we have included provision of survey equipment for the assistance to the engineer. So the survey equipment kindly visit lang sa katong technical specification na sheet to verify unsay specs nga among gi-require sa survey equipment. Then we have the provision of communication facility for the engineer. So next is we need to provide permits and clearances, project billboard, safety and health program, mobilization and demobilization. We have to provide the tour or access road para pag naog na to sa sapa, no? So, for the main item, naatay reinforcing steel, grade 40, with a total quantity of 65,987 kilograms, and a structural concrete 3,000 PSI, Class A, 28 days, 2,314 cubic meter. So we have fill and backfill, pipe culverts and drain excavation. We have grouted riprap, structural steel sheet piles furnished and driven. So we have also provided pipe culverts, then two sizes of pipe culvert, ang 910 mm or the 36 inches and the 1.5 or the 60 inches. Then we have concrete covers, manholes, and metal frames and gratings. So, muna ito ang sasapa ng mga areas. River plan showing proposed structure. Then the details for the RCPC, for the steel grating. Then, muna ka sa Highway 77 nga detail. Then also for the katong sa may Santo Niño Village nga drainage nga itong ibutang. So, muna ito mga typical river cross-sections for the river. So, nice steel sheet pile, no? Then we have the manholes and drainage detail. So I think that's all for the flood control project. So Engineer Felicis will continue for the road project.
Okay, to continue, good afternoon. Next, we have two road concreting projects. First, we have contract ID 24HH0086, construction of road, Barangay Guba, Cebu City. The approved budget for the contract is 4,900,000 pesos and to be completed in 90 calendar days. So this is the detailed engineering design plan. For Barangay Guba, we have only one road section, no? So length is at 350 meters. Okay, so muna ang location, the shaded area or region, this one. So this road alignment is close to the Guba Barangay Hall. No? So we have taken photographs on site. Muna itong simintoon, this area. So please take note of the coordinates if you're going to use this one. So you have to input it in the Google map, no, for you to have the exact location. So this is the current situation on site. So another presentation for the location through Google Maps. So close to Happy Gardener's Place. Muna itong area for the road concreting project. Okay. So for the summary of quantities, we have the general requirements, the combined field office, operation and maintenance, permits clearances, DPWH billboards, GOA billboards, safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization. So for the civil works item, will include the removal of structures or obstruction the existing RCPC, surplus common excavation, pipe culvert and drain excavation, embankment, subgrade preparation, and then laying of the aggregate sub-base course as foundation for the roadway. And then we have the major work item, item 311, that is the Portland cement concrete pavement, 200 millimeter thick, curing period is at 14 days. And then miscellaneous items include the item 404, 405 for our line canal, item 500 for the pipe culverts, and lastly, concrete curb na to, no, precast. So these are the specifications, construction methodology. Then we have here the typical road section. So for Barangay Guba, we are going to maintain a width of 5 meters. So 2 lanes siya of 2.5 width. And then on the left side, we're proposing an open line canal. And then here on top is the concrete curb. So here at the bottom, we have an open ditch if not going to provide this open line canal on the left side. No? Cut lang siya. Cut section. So on top is the item 311, 200 millimeter thick, and then below is the sub-base course of 150 millimeter. Okay. So that's it for Barangay Guba Road Concreting. We now proceed to contract ID 24HH87. Rehabilitation or reconstruction or upgrading of damaged paved roads, Mabini Lopez Street, Chainage 63 to Chainage 442, with an ABC of 14,700,000 pesos. So to be completed in 94 calendar days. So for Mabini Lopez, we have a net length of 379 meters. So maning location ano. Starting point will be at intersection Sikatuna Street, no? Dire Pita. So sa may kulon in area, no? Right beside Heritage of Cebu sa Parian. So starting point here and then going straight, then you make a right turn. There is a corner Yap San Diego Ancestral House up to MJ Cuenco Avenue intersection. So mo siya GL, no? Muna ang Mabini Lopez na to na road section. So this area will be rehabilitated, no? Ang existing asphalt pavement converted to Portland cement concrete pavement, and we are going to replace and rehabilitate also the drainage structures here. Okay, baha man siya dapita, no? We're going to replace it with a new one. Okay, so for the pictures on site, muna siya. Muna silugdanan na to sa may 7-Eleven here sa Parian. And then you make a right turn. Then go straight. Muna ni, ending na ni sa may MJ Cuenco. Okay. So another representation sa mapa, sa Google Map. Here, no? Okay. So going now to the summary of quantities, basically the same, no, katong mga general requirements. And then for the civil works, we have removal of the existing sidewalk, curb and gutter, concrete structures, excavation, subgrade preparation, sub-base course for the roadway. Item 311 is 300 millimeter thick, so much thicker siya. And then curing period is at 7 days. So shorten curing period, no, to avoid traffic congestion in the area. So we have item 404, 405 for the line canal. Item 502, manhole. Inlets, item 502. 2A3. Concrete covers, 5024A3. Metal frames or gratings, 5031. Curb and gutter, item 607. Sidewalk, item 601. And lastly, other miscellaneous item, mo ni ang reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings. So, white color lang ang needed for this road section. Okay. So, mo ni siya, no? So, basically, item 311 on top, 300 millimeter. Then beneath is the sub-base course of 200 mm. And then drainage on both sides, no? Atong gipropose na to. So we are to remove the 16 structures there. Thus, we have item 101 na atong gibutang sa SOQ. Okay. So I think that's it for Mabini Lopez road concreting project with drainage structures. Ma'am Vice Chairman.
Okay, so thank you very much, Engineer Felices and Engineer Salera. So for those who are watching via YouTube, if there are any clarifications with respect to the explanation of the three projects to be bid out, you may approach the respective planning engineers. No? So you may visit the planning section. Okay, so before we will end, we will have some short reminders during the submission of the technical and the financial documents during the bidding. Josh?
Additional information now for the bidders. For the documents to be submitted, these following requirements will be discussed in the preparation of the documents. First, for the technical proposal, the basic eligibility requirement during the submission of bids in the field job certificate of registration and membership must be current and updated in accordance with the provisions of the IRR. And each registration is proper and relevant to the particular type of procurement. And all the Class A eligibility documents uploaded and maintained current and updated in the field jobs. Bidders are required to submit their field jobs certificate of registration during their submission. Next, if a bidder is not enrolled in CAA, the bidder must attach validated pickup license and registration and statement of all ongoing and completed government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, whether or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Within the period provided in the bidding documents, given emphasis as per Department Order number 36 series of 2615. For this, strong emphasis is given to this matter since this will be strictly revalidated and checked upon during the detailed bid evaluation. Non-compliance of this is subjected for sanction by DEO number 17 series of 2015 under the three-strike policy report. Next, statement of single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid at least 50% of the ADC. Net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, computation and statement of total assets and liabilities. Next is the mayor's permit or business permit must be present, tax clearance, audited financial statement, duly received by BIR at least 2 years from bidding date, income tax return or ITR. Next is for DTI for sole proprietorship and CDA for cooperatives. For a corporation, there should be a secretary certificate or board resolution duly notarized indicating the authorized and designated signing official. Next, GAA, if applicable, which requires special pickup license and registration with percentage of co-contractors. For the bid security, the contractor can choose among the applicable forms of bid security, which the duration is 120 calendar days per RA 9184. The bidder shall submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or a cashless check issued by the Universal of Commercial Bank, which is 2%. That draft guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed and authenticated by a Universal or Commercial Bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 2%, surety bond, a bank demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 5%. Any discrepancy in the amount given is entirely less than compliant. If the validated exceeds 120 calendar days, the contractor should renew and submit a new bid securing declaration or BSD, considering that all legal, technical, and financial documents should still be valid during the work. Number 4, bid security in prescribed form for the amount and validity period. For project requirements, the bidders should attach the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, including the list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their complete qualification data and affidavit of commitment to work and the project of the contractor's key technical personnel, which there must be no duplication of key functions wherein assignments of several projects of key personnel is strongly discouraged because it was found out that some contractors have one project engineer with multiple ongoing contract projects. The 5 key technical personnel must have experience similar to the contract project to be bid at least 50% of ABC, or as follows: project manager is not necessary or licensed civil engineer. However, the experience should have minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 3 years experience of similar position. Project engineer must be duly licensed civil engineer. Should be current and updated with minimum of 5 years experience of same position, 3 years experience of similar position. For the materials engineer, must be a licensed civil engineer with minimum of 5 years experience of same position, 3 years experience of similar position, duly DPWH accredited materials and quality control engineer. Foreman with minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 2 years experience of similar position. For the safety and health officer with a certificate duly accredited by DOLE as safety officer. The bidder should have a safety officer 3 or SO3, regardless of amount and category, wherein the requirements and appointment, designation, and job description as a safety officer. If the company doesn't have a safety officer, they should attach a pledge of commitment to undertake trainings for 48 hours. If you're informed, they were advised not to manufacture the experience of their key technical personnel just to suit with the requirements. All the licenses and credentials of the key technical personnel must be current and updated. These attachments should be visible and have a clear copy. The BOC advised that the pledged project engineer for the project should not be conflicting with other projects, considering that the supervision will be difficult, and this is one of the reasons that will cause negative slippage. A project engineer can handle within the same jurisdiction but outside is quite questionable for his capacity to supervise. List of contractors, major construction, and lab equipment units owned, leased, or under purchase agreements must be supported by proof of ownership or lease or purchase and certificate verification of availability of equipment from lesser vendor for project duration. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per DEO number 80, series of 1990, and reiterated for strict compliance as per DEO number 138, series of 2015, DEO 11, series of 2017, to ensure that the said certification is current and updated, which has only 1 year validity and still subject for post-qualification. Construction Safety and Health Program by DEO 129, series of 2014. The preparation of the Safety and Health Program is component of the technical proposal as per Department Order, of which the limitation is one safety officer with limited jurisdiction on the limits not exceeding 50 million. However, per project must have one first aider, and it is not necessarily approved considering that this will be resubmitted if they will be awarded for the project. The compliance of construction safety and health is now in law as per Republic Act 11058 dated August 2018. The safety officer 3 should be on site since this is one of the requirements during inspection of the personnel from Ballet. There will be a penalty if a safety officer is not around during the inspection of dwelling. The company should also conduct monthly, quarterly, yearly report as one of the OSH requirement in construction industry. The bidders were advised to prepare their own construction safety and health program. For the omnibus sworn statement in the form, the omnibus sworn statement has 10 items. They should comply with the standard form wherein, in the absence of one item, it will be rated as failed. For the affidavit of site inspection, inspection of the project site is encouraged in order to validate the site prior to dropping of bids to avoid future problems. Because the contractor has the responsibility to complete the project once awarded to them. For the financial proposal, this was included also the bid form, the bid prices, and the bill of quantities, detailed estimates, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. So wala ang dapat any detail mo na agad na diha ang materials, ang labor, o ang material. Ang lamsam na ito, no? Mo na atong gikuan ko before, doon din mo na kayo ng lamsam, no? Kaya per item na aman ang lamsam. Usually na sa mga building mga projects, maka-doon din mo sa planning, pwede na mangayo o breakdown sa lamsam. Therefore, kailan pa na siya for smooth implementation sa project. So, makadoon na din mo sa isuot sa lamsam. Kaya din mo pa sa ubang item na per square, na alabayan na per square ng lamsam, compromise po na tatlo sa materials. So, quarterly, monthly, cash flow, and payment schedule must be present also in the financial proposal. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or currently insufficient documents in the above mentioned is a ground for outright rejection for the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated, otherwise it will be rated as failed. The technical and financial proposal must be in A4 size, mga itong standard sa itong bid documents. When paginated with duly authorized signatures and book-bounded to avoid insertion. Further, the authorized licensing officer will be the one to drop the bids. The bidders will also advise to be responsible to their bid submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposals should have proper pagination based on the number or order in the checklist, including proper sequencing of documents. The submitted documents should be done accordingly. If the legal aid documents are attached, much better. However, the documents documents are expired, attach receipt of proof that the renewal is on process. The bid documents of the bidders must follow the completeness of the bid, both in form and substance. The bidders were advised not to recycle legal documents attached in the previous submission of bids which have signatures and countersigns of the board members. It must be all original signatures attesting certified copies, affidavits must be original signature. For the joint venture, whatever guidelines complied by one bidder should also be complied by the other bidder. For example, if one has a project registration, then the other one should also attach their project registration. Leaving blanks on the bid proposal for a unit bid price of total cost per item is considered failed, except indicated as zero, or which is understood as free to the government. Bidders with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded. Why? Ay subject for evaluation kung ano ang inyong iharap. All these documents are still subject for bid evaluation, and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest circulating responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days upon bidding for file for a motion for reconsideration. The board emphasized the deadline of the receipt by the board of bids, which is Sunday only, as stipulated in the indication of bid. Kung malapas na sa 10 a.m., so dili mo makatrap ang bidders. Ato ng distrito ngayon, i-close na ito ang atong welcoming terrain beyond 10 a.m. in the morning. For the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification in award. The board will determine the eligibility of the bidders based on the project's registration or the legal aid documents, which should be maintained current and updated, including that of the Civil Works application or the CWA, which focuses on the NFCC, work experience of single largest completed contract, similar to the contract project for bidding at hand. The board will ascertain based on the checklist of the required documents to be submitted using pass or fail criterion during the preliminary and detailed bid evaluation. In addition, after the opening of bids as per 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation under section 32.2, the board will conduct a detailed bid evaluation of all the bids using non-discretionary criteria wherein it requires the completeness of bid. Bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as not responsive, but specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. In case of discrepancies between bid prices and figures and in words, the latter shall prevail, no, and words and not prevail. Total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the same will be applied to the detailed checking evaluation of the technical. The same will be applied no sa katong checking evaluation of the proposal. When the bidder, rated as the lowest calculated bidder, will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders are of equal footing thereby. Bidders are advised to input all taxes, other fiscal and duties as mandated mandated by law in all items of work, which details are shown in the deeded estimates. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order number 127, Series 2018, and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BOP will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process, considering that the concerned officials or employees, including the concerned BOP members, will be liable to the administrative penalties if this directive will not be followed. As per DEO number 127, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or at least 10% in two or more contracts. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, the office will be sending a letter being the lowest calculated bid, which within 5 days from the receipt of notice, the bidder must submit the latest income and business tax return and other appropriate licenses, permits, and other legal documents required and stated in the bidding document and as stipulated in the said communication. If not complied within 5 days, the next calculated lowest bidder will be notified. So, you'll be given 5 days now. On the other hand, the office will be sending a letter of inquiry on the committed failure on the bidding at hand. Thus, this communication must be acted upon the contractor in the required time frame. Otherwise, without action taken, it will be relatively resort to sanction, which will fall to the three-strike policy, which is tantamount of blacklisting, suspension of the contractor. If the bidder will commit 3 mistakes in a year, then they will be recommended for further sanctions. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process. They are allowed to replace their key personnel technical, which they have to write a letter 14 days prior to the proposed replacement duly approved by the HOPE of the office. The BOP will be strict in the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification. It is stated as per DEO number 127 series 2018. The contractor can attach in the proposal the list of equipment or agreement to purchase or proposal to rent or agreement on the delivery of the equipment so that the contractor will be assessed as compliant in terms of equipment requirement. The OR and CR must be present, no? Also, it must be current and updated, not expired. The equipment should be calibrated and staff accredited, and the registration should be current and updated. Whatever is stipulated in the BDS should be followed. An inspection will be conducted in the verification of equipment during other documents to be evaluated. Also, to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should in the submitted bid location of the equipment where they can be inspected. Ang atong PWG members can inspect din sa among equipment pledge. No? If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified as per Department Order number 9, series of 2012. 10 calendar days upon receipt of the NOAA or notice of award, the contractor must comply the following. Notice of award with the bidder signed for a joint venture, contractor speak-up license, special joint venture license, and joint venture agreement. Performance security in any of the forms specified in the instruction of bidders. The performance security shall be in the amount not less than the required percentage of the total contract price in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or cashless manager's check issued a universal or commercial bank, which is 10%. Bank draft or guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank provided, however, that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a universal or commercial bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 10%. Surety bond, claimable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 40%. No? So, sa inyong construction workshops, kinabot ay form, no, follow ng sa form, ang construction schedule in the form of CPM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve, cash flow. Contractors all risk insurance are carried to be submitted during the period required on the submission of the required documents in the award of contract. However, the effective date is on the effectivity of the contract. Latest income tax and business returns duly stamped and received by BIR and duly validated with the tax payments made. Tax clearance from the BIR to prove full and timely payment of taxes. For a local contractor, certification under oath stating that the contractor is free and clean of all tax liabilities. For a foreign bidder, for the summary.
Okay, so to all viewers, you have already heard with respect to the reminders. So I think that's all. So this pre-bid conference is hereby adjourned. Good afternoon.